For years, we've been trying to sell the same kinds of digital products: PDFs, ebooks, courses, templates. Frankly, the magic's worn off. But in 2025, there is a revolution happening in the digital product space. Service business owners are creating a completely different kind of product, one that doesn't take months to build, feels intensely personal to clients, and it solves such specific problems that people are more than happy to pay for them. So in this video, I'm going to show you what this groundbreaking new type of digital product is and why it's causing such a stir, real-world examples of how service businesses are using it to both grow their client list and generate consistent revenue without additional work, and the surprisingly simple way that you could create one yourself in just as little as an afternoon, yet get paid for it for years to come. To understand why this new digital product is so powerful, we need to understand what's broken about the old ones. One of my students, Mike, he's a lawyer in San Diego, he thought he had the perfect idea, right? He made these DIY contract templates for small business owners. You know, for those people who couldn't afford to pay thousands of dollars for legal help, they could just buy his templates for 37 bucks. And Mike spent weeks making sure that these templates were really good. But guess what happened? Almost nobody bought them. And the few people who did, they never even used them. When he looked into why, the answer was pretty simple. You know, these business owners didn't just want some template that they could download, they wanted someone who understood their specific situation. They wanted personalized help and the feeling that an expert was looking out for them, even if they couldn't necessarily afford that level of service. And this isn't just happening to Mike, I'm seeing it everywhere. People are surrounded by free information. They don't need another PDF or a checklist that just treats everyone the same way. So the real question is, how do we simulate that kind of personalized experience that they're craving without having to spend all day, every day, working with individual clients one-on-one? The answer is custom GPTs. So if you aren't familiar yet, these are basically customized versions of ChatGPT that you can train on your own knowledge to do specific things. But most of the people who've caught on to how powerful they are only using them for themselves. They're completely sleeping on the idea of offering them as a product that they can either sell as a low-priced digital product or as a free lead magnet to build their email list of future clients. And this is where the real opportunity is, creating custom GPTs that deliver your expertise at scale without requiring your constant attention. Just think of them as digital versions of you that can write in your voice, answer questions, and give advice exactly the way you would, or perform specialized tasks that your clients struggle with, like writing sales emails, or troubleshooting technical problems, or even creating images. It's like cloning all your expertise and then packaging it up in a way that clients can access it 24/7, giving them that personalized experience that they crave without draining all of your time. The cool part is just how incredibly easy they are to make. Here is the basic process. So you're gonna need a ChatGPT Plus plan, which costs about 20 bucks a month. This gives you the ability to create and share those custom GPTs. Upload your knowledge base information. So this could be blog posts, videos you've transcribed, FAQs that you've written, or just your raw expertise on different topics. This gives that GPT the information it needs to answer questions or dole out advice the same way you would. You don't even have to write it in any kind of a polished way. Literally just brain dump it all out. That is all that it needs. Tell the GPT how to behave, so you can specify things like personality traits, tone of voice, and even special instructions for how it's going to approach certain questions or tasks. You then just want to set it to be able to share with anyone who has the link so that your audience can access it, and then you can just share that link however you want. And then once you've done that, people can talk to your GPT just like they would talk to regular old ChatGPT, except it has all your knowledge, expertise, and personality. It's kind of like they're having a one-on-one consultation with you, but you're available 24/7. And that's what people are looking for in 2025, personalized attention, even if it's just simulated attention. So what could this look like for real service-based businesses? To answer that, first we need to look at the wrong way to build a custom GPT, which is to just dump a bunch of generic content into it and hope that it magically becomes useful. If you do that, you get something back that just feels vague, unfocused, and honestly, just as forgettable as any of those other digital products. But when you build it around a specific problem that your clients are already trying to solve, everything changes. For a financial planner, you could offer a budget breakthrough GPT that helps people analyze their spending habits, identify areas to cut back on, and create a personalized saving plan. And since it all works like a conversation with a real expert, they can do things they wouldn't be able to do if it were a spreadsheet template. Like they could tell it what they're not willing to cut out or ask for a version to help them save for an upcoming vacation. And that kind of customization about what people want specifically for them is what makes this so freaking valuable. It could even be as simple as just a virtual consultant where they ask the GPT version of you for advice in your zone of genius, and it's going to tell them pretty much exactly what you would if you were there with them in person. Right now, we're in that sweet spot where custom GPTs are incredibly valuable to people, but most businesses haven't jumped on board yet. This is one of those rare opportunities to really stand out before your competition catches up. They're novel enough that people are excited to try them, but practical enough that they provide actual value. So that combination makes them incredibly effective as digital products. So how do you actually use custom GPTs inside your business? There are two main approaches I recommend, either as free lead magnets or as paid tiny offers. Let's look at both so you can see which way you might want to go, starting with the free route. So why give something this valuable away for free if you could charge for it? Simple. To build your email list, aka your list of future clients. Building your list should still be a priority because despite all the new marketing channels that have popped up over the years, email marketing is still the most powerful in 2025. It gives you by far the best return on investment, about $36 for every $1 you spend. That is a 3,600% ROI if you're keeping track. But it only works if you can offer something that people are actually willing to hand over their email for, and custom GPTs are just the thing. A great example of this in action is what the wedding planning platform Zola did with their Split the Decisions GPT. So what they did is they created a custom GPT that helps engaged couples much more fairly divide wedding planning tasks between them. Here's how it works. Each partner answers a series of fun, who's more likely to questions. Then the AI analyzes their answers to figure out each person's strengths and preferences. It then creates a personalized wedding to-do list split into 3 categories: partner A tasks, partner B tasks, and joint tasks. Then couples can just download the finalized checklist. And this GPT actually works like a friendly mediator, right? It'll gently point out if one partner seems to be checking out of the conversation, and it just encourages both people to get more involved. And by offering that for free, Zola genuinely helps couples while introducing them to everything else that they offer. Each task on the list comes with these helpful links back to Zola's own resources, naturally bringing people into their world. And here's a cool bonus. Since this approach is still pretty new and different, Zola actually got a bunch of free press coverage for it. So if you were to create something similar for your industry and send out a simple press release about it, you might get some great free traffic, not to mention all the people who'd sign up for it. So how do you make this work for your own business? Well, once you've trained your GPT by giving it information and just talking to it like you would a person, you need to make it available to potential customers. Here's how you do that. First, you want to set your GPT to share with anyone who has the link in the settings. Create a simple sign-up page like you would for any free offer. Have visitors type in their first name and email to get access. Then, set up an automatic email that welcomes them and gives them the link to your GPT. Trust me, that's going to build your list way faster than just another PDF download. The second way to use custom GPTs is as low-priced products that you sell for actual money. Now, these tiny offers can be a really smart way to add new income streams to your business. It adds another step on your value ladder, and that's just a fancy way of saying the different products and services that you offer at different price points. Some people might not be ready to hire you for the thousands of dollars you charge, but they would be happy to pay you a little bit to tap into your knowledge through a GPT. Now, this can work in two different ways. You could sell it to lots of people at a small price, creating that extra income all on its own, or you can think of it as a stepping stone offer, right? People who buy something small from you are way more likely to become bigger clients later on. And that second point is super important because the chance of selling something to an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the chance of selling to a brand new prospect is about 1 to 5%. So getting that first small purchase makes future sales much more likely. Online business expert Rick Mulready did this really well with his Pick Rick's Brain GPT. So Rick's pretty well known in the marketing world, and he used to run masterminds and expensive courses, but now he offers access to his marketing know-how through a custom GPT for a monthly fee. And this is pretty easy for Rick since he already had hundreds of podcast episodes that he could just turn into training material for the AI. The tool can answer questions about marketing, growing your audience, and business strategy the same way that Rick would himself. And for his customers who buy this, it's like having Rick available to them 24/7 to ask all the questions they want. And for Rick, it's a new way to make money without having to be personally available for all those questions. So creating a paid GPT follows a similar process for creating a free one, but with just a few extra steps. First, you want to create a simple sales page showing what your GPT does and why it's helpful. Then you got to set up a payment system that gives instant access to it. And these typically sell well anywhere from about $7 to $50. And of course, this works great once you know what kind of GPT your clients would actually want the most. But if you get that wrong, you're right back to square one. So I knew this might be a problem, and that's why I made this video that you need to watch next. It's gonna show you how you can use AI to uncover exactly what your clients are desperately in need of right now that you can help them with. So this video's got everything you need, including the power prompt you can use to get this info in just about 5 minutes. So click right here and we can get started.